Hello students, very warm welcome on this session. So in this session, we will be first of all talking about introduction to organizational behavior. So as the word itself says, organization behavior. So this means that how does the organization behave? Here we are considering organization as a living entity. So this is the thing how we can start off describing organization behavior. Organization behavior is how people act in the organizations, how the different teams they act in the organizations, what we can do to predict and manage the behavior of the employees in the organization. So it is about understanding the people behavior at the individual level, between two people, intergroup, and the organization level. There are few keywords which you will be studying in this organization behavior session. Basically keywords like psychology, social psychology, sociology, and anthropology. So these are some of the keywords which we need to understand as a part of introduction to OB. So what is psychology? Psychology is about predicting the behavior of the individuals to a greater extent and understanding that how does an individual behave, respond, react in different situations. So that is about the psychology. It helps us to understand that how a human will respond, how a human will behave in a particular situation. So next keyword here is social psychology. So as the word itself says social, so here we are referring to behavior of the individual when they are there in a social setup or in a social gathering. And it is considered as a branch of psychology. So terms like social psychology, applied psychology, so all these are the branches of the bigger umbrella term which is called as a psychology. So social psychology is how groups, organizations, societies, how are they organized, and the unit of analysis is a group rather than an individual. So when we look at psychology, we are looking at the individual behavior, but when we look at the social psychology, here we are looking at the behavior, group behavior, or analysis of the group rather than the individual. Next is the sociology. So when the psychology focus on the individual, sociology studies people in relation to the social environment and the culture. So as you must be knowing, different nations have different cultures. Similarly, even organizations, each organization is different. Every organization has a different culture. So we cannot say that there are two organizations having the same culture. There will always be a difference between the two organizations. As you must be knowing that every individual is unique. Similarly, every organization is also unique. So therefore, we need to understand that how organizations they behave in the particular manner. What is the organization culture? In short, sometimes it is called as the org culture. That's the term which we call it. And the fourth keyword of the term here to understand in the organization behavior is anthropology. So anthropology refers to the study of societies to learn about human beings and their activities. So I'll repeat the statement. Anthropology refers to the study of societies to learn about human beings and their activities. So organization behavior is studied at three different levels. So the first level is the intra-individual level, individual behavior, personality, attitude, motivation, learning. So all this refers to the individual level, that's the intra-individual level. The next is interpersonal and the group level. So when people are interacting, the teams are formed in the organization, how people interact with each other, how does this team behaves as a one unit to be observed, that is the interpersonal and a group level. So here things like communication, authority, power, conflict, leadership, transactional analysis, group dynamics, they come into play. And the third part at which this is being discussed is the organization change and development. So there's a term which you will find and see many times it is repeated. It's called as OD. So what is OD? It is organization development. So how you can develop the organization, how you can make the people more productive, how you can make the employees more motivated to come in every day at the office and give their best every day, coming to the office and giving the best each day as if it is their first day in the joining the new office. So this is about the organization change, organization dynamics of change. So organization change, that also comes in when there are, kind of merger is happening. So there are two organizations and the merger is happening. Just imagine the kind of organization change that will happen. What kind of organization development will be required to, bring the pieces together and create one single entity, having one culture instead of, two cultures being running in the one organization. Another mergers and the acquisition, one company acquires another company, and then you are able to see that how the two companies, two cultures, people they come, how they will be interacting with each other. Another very important element of organization behavior is the concept of management. So what is the role of management? What is the role of leadership? The role of leadership, when we talk about senior level people, senior management, is that you basically lead the organization for growth and sustenance. So it is also called as survival and growth. So when you are able to lead the organization to growth and survival, sustenance, that's a basic form. So just giving an example here. So when in 2020 COVID came, there were many business units which were like totally kind of put on hold. Let us say whether it was the hotel industry, whether it was the travel industry. So everything came to a stop. So what is the decision by the management? Should we maybe deduct the salary of the people and keep them all, or we should ask some of the people to let them go? So these are some tough decisions which had to be taken by the leadership of the organization, and they were taken in the interest of the organization. So when the organization thought we cannot continue, say for example, if they had 100 people, we may have to let go of some, say around 30% of the workforce. Then these were the tough calls and decisions which were called by the management. And when the business once again grew, so there are chances that when you require people, obviously you will like to have those people who have worked with you because they have contributed to the growth of your organization. They understand the culture, they understand the dynamics, and there's a term which is called as the culture fit. So they become as a part of the culture fit to the organization. So coming back again, the role of managers is basically to lead the organization, motivate the people, ensure the targets which have been set up by the board, and even as a leader, the targets which you set for your business, those are achieved every year, year on year, and you deliver on the growth and the results, and also ensuring the benefit to the stakeholders and the shareholders of the company in case it is a public limited company. So even if it is not a public limited company, a private organization, still there are the stakeholders, and you have to ensure that every stakeholder is getting the kind of the benefit which they deserve, be it an employee of the organization, be it the other suppliers which are there of the organization in case you are running a services company or a production manufacturing unit organization. So this is the some of the basic topics about the organization behavior, and here also we will talk a bit on the goal of a manager. So when as a manager there are few roles which the person need to basically do or perform, which we can call it as roles and responsibility. A role means a particular set of things which a person has to accomplish while performing that role, and responsibilities are also what the person has to shoulder when he is, or what is expected out of him in order to be responsible for whatever action he or she takes for the organization, for the team, for the shareholders, for the stakeholders, and like that. So one of the most basic function for a manager is planning, organizing, controlling, directing. So these are some of the basic functions of the manager. So you plan, and then you basically manage, you control, you organize the things, how it will be done, where it will be done, when it will be done. Then you direct your people, or the team members, that how you have to achieve and what you have to achieve, directions being given to them, and planning, organizing, directing, controlling. And controlling means monitoring that what has been the progress on a weekly basis, monthly basis, quarterly basis, half annual basis, and like that. So this is some of the basics of the organization behavior. And when we look at the organization per se, so there are different levels of the organization, starting from the basic, the entry level. For example, for a sales team, it is the sales executive, and the topmost leadership will be a vice president sales or president sales. That's how it is. So you will have the bottommost layer called as the lower level management, or the supervisory execution level. Then you will have the mid level. It is called as the managerial level or the executory level. And then on the top of the layer, which is of the level of the management, that is the administrative level or the leadership level in the organization structure or the levels of management. So dear students, so that is all for today in this session of the Introduction to Organization Behavior. We will continue more in the subsequent sessions. Till then, goodbye and thank you.